Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this week's actual issue of Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine. As per usual, with all these videos, if you like them, please hit that like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed already, even if you haven't, what are you doing? Of course, drop me a comment down below if you want to drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It does really go a long way to helping out the channel as well. Now, this week we're on issue 52. Obviously, if you've seen already, we have had issue 51 also this week as well, because they both turned up at the same time. It is what it is. So, issue 52 is our first proper Leagues of Votann issue. So, the Leagues of Votann, pretty cool army. We get our hero for the Leagues of Votann, which is for Khal. Or you can have him as Utar the Destined. Either way is entirely up to you. Named character or the Khal. I think I did him as Utar the last time I had one of these. And I'll do him as a Khal this time. I do like the Leagues of Votann. I think they are pretty cool units. So, happy days. You have options for building it. So if you don't want to follow the guide, you do not really have to. So you have the option of the kind of like power fist type weapon, an axe, a sword, a bolter, and a kind of disintegrator, I think it's called. But yeah, real cool stuff. You do have 3 different heads to choose from as well, so I'm not sure how it's going. Well, it's going to focus on that, but you will see. Right. No, it's not. It's not going to focus. Let's see if it does that way. There we go. So you have the golden mask on the left, just there. You have a helmetless head and another helmetless head. So one is very scarred on the top of his head and one is not. But your choice of how you want to paint him and build him. But yeah, real cool stuff. I do like this mini. I say, I had the Leagues of Votann starter set when that army got launched. That was a cool mini to paint. I really enjoyed it. The axe and the sword are both meant to be power weapons as well, so you get to have a little bit of fun with them and paint them up slightly differently if you're doing them. If you're not, you're not. But yeah, real cool stuff. And obviously you stood on a tactical rock. Who doesn't love a tactical rock in Warhammer? Apparently, pretty much the Games Workshop studio, apparently, they love a tactical rock. Anyway, going into our build guide. Obviously, the build guide is relatively straightforward. It is a mini that is not a push fit mini, so you do need glue. So take your time with it. It is smaller than most of the other minis, so it will take a little tiny bit more time to get it just right. But when you have got it right, it looks pretty damn cool. So it'll look like a proper little badass mini. But yeah, real good stuff. And you do have the options as well, so it tells you the options there. Whether you want to go for the helmet or not non-helmet, your choice. Personally, I think I'm going to go with the helmet. You do have the option of the kind of thing on the back of his backpack as well. You can have that one where it kind of reaches over his head, or you can have one going sideways and arcing over his shoulders. It's your choice. So, you know, have fun with it. Now, talking about painting it though, I do actually like this paint scheme. I think this paint scheme works very well and looks pretty cool. So, if you're going to go for this paint scheme, a bad and black as a base, brilliant. Real good. It's real versatile. It works wonders. Avalon Sunset as the kind of the cloth areas actually works really good on that undersuit. I think that looks pretty damn cool. It has a nice tone to it, so it kind of splits it very nicely, and yeah, just does a real good job. I'm not going to lie, that's a very good paint job, and a very good way of painting it, and a very good look for it. So it's your choice. If you're following the magazine, follow that guide. That guide is actually really good this week. It's one that I'm not going to criticize at all, in all honesty. The only thing I will say is it's up to you if you go for the same kind of basing that they do, or if you want to go for something else. Your choice. But yeah, it works very very well. Yeah, I just can't knock it. It does work very, very well. I do like it. I think it looks a real good paint scheme for the Leagues of Votann. Personally, I went for one of the ones from the Codex, which is the red armor, which is, I think, the Ymir conglomerate. I may be saying that very wrong. I may not be saying it very wrong. I do not know. I may be misremembering it and saying one of the sub-factions that is not the right paint scheme. I may be wrong. But, yeah, or you can just paint it up how you want to paint it up. If you want him to be bright pink, paint him bright pink. Your choice. But this works very, very well. Now, for your basing, if you want Astro Granite, use Astro Granite. I think I already have Astro Granite on my good old Votann units, so I'll probably stick with that. Obviously, on some of them, you're going to have very, very sparse bases. So if you have any of the Citadel schools, utilize your Citadel schools nicely and wisely. If you buy some, you can buy little scatter terrain rocks and stuff like that. You can utilize those. But yeah, your choice. Yeah, have a bit of fun with it. I mean, yeah, the paint scheme works very well. On the Astro Granite, I think it looks a bit bleak, and you could make it look better. But yeah, it's your choice. So have fun with it. It's your mini. Have your fun with it. And yeah, when you're done, to be honest, even considering this still says it's work in progress, that looks like it's not far off being complete. So it's pretty good. So yeah, definitely not going to knock it. Anyway, enough talk about paint. We always seem to get a ramble about paint, don't we, in these videos? Anyway, moving on. We have more of our fiction for the Silver Templars, giving us more of a Bonds of Honor story, Bonds of Honor Part 13 to be precise, giving us more of the Orcs attacking the Space Marines and moving in that way. And obviously, you know, the Orcs kind of on the way out in this story because we are going to have some newcomers in the shape of the Leagues of Votann, because they have to jump into it now because they are pretty cool. But real good stuff, and obviously it's going to be really good fun. So pretty cool stuff, and I will eventually catch up with the story. Maybe. One day. But yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, obviously it is a minis issue, so we get our collect page. So obviously this gives us the page to do with collecting, so you get to give them their battle honours for the kin themselves, so they emerge from their crucibles fully formed and blessed by the Votann with a given name. But they also select a name of their own, called a chosen name. Some of the most renowned leaders are given new names by those around them that they may adopt instead. So you get to give them their chosen name, so whether it's the Intrepid, Foehammer, the Venerable on your dice rolls. You also get to give grudges, because grudges is always really, really good fun. So, your grudges, so the kins are people with long memories and short tempers, and it doesn't take much to get on their bad side, but it takes a lot to get on back onto their good side. Those who have wronged the kin may be unsure exactly what outrage they may have committed, but the kin themselves will have no such doubts and will know exactly when and how they were slighted. And you get to roll on the table there to see how each other faction slighted them. So, exactly like the dwarves in good old Warhammer Fantasy Battles. Obviously they have grudges, and they have the big book of grudges, and everything's recorded in there. And yeah, they will hold these grudges, and some of the dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy know grudges from other clans and other people and other dwarves and such like that, that they will seek to correct and remove that grudge from the book of grudges sometimes. Anyway, carrying on with the collect pages, you get your collect page for Khal himself. Obviously you get to give him his given name as well, so whether it's Anik, Narun or Yima and stuff like that. So that can be down to giving them a little bit of background of why they have that name as well, and because it is a given name and not a chosen name. So Pretty cool stuff. Obviously, you get to write that down, you get to tick off whether you built it, painted it, and played with it as well. Moving on from there, we have our data sheet. So obviously, you get a little bit of information about the data sheet. We already have the data card from the previous issue, from issue number 51. You also learn about judgment tokens. So, on the back cover of this issue, you will find judgment tokens. In your command phase, the Grim Efficiency rule allows your Khal to give an enemy unit it can see 1 judgment token, up to a maximum of 2. While an enemy unit has 1 judgment token, your Khal can add 1 to hit rolls when targeting that unit. While an enemy has 2 judgment tokens, your Khal can add 1 to hit rolls and 1 to wound rolls when targeting that unit. So it gives them a boost and an advantage, which, you know, could go a long way and could help you win as the shortest race. Well, they may not be the shortest race. The Grudge might be shorter. But anyway, one of the shortest races within 40k. Pretty cool. So, this issue comes with scenario number 32, Bitter Judgment. This obviously is going to teach you how to start utilising your judgment tokens and the Grim Efficiency as well. It's the small one because obviously it's only our hero. So obviously you're using your Khal, going up against orcs in that region, and good old some terrain features as well. So pretty cool. And you're just using 1 battle map because obviously it's a very small battle. Then you get to utilize how everything works as well with these guys. So they have 3 orc boys per unit, so you'll have 1 there, 1 there. You'll have 3, but yeah, 3 there each of them, yeah, whatever. And obviously it tells you how to utilize your judgment tokens. Using them as well, a proper breakdown of how to utilize them here works very, very well. And yeah, happy days. Yeah, work very, very well. And obviously having that advantage to your rolls could work wonders. So pretty cool stuff. Right, that's your kind of victory conditions, and then you have your judgment tokens there. So if you're going to cut these out, obviously you're cutting them out in there pretty small, and then you just kind of folding them over along that middle line. Not gonna lie, might be a little bit tricky. You may want to put them on card. You can do if you want to kind of glue it down to card. You may not want to. You may want to find 3D printed ones online. You may want to find wooden ones like from MDF or anything like that if you really, really wanted to. But judgment tokens with the Leagues of Votan is a must. So you will need them. But pretty cool stuff. I do like the Leagues of Votan. They're pretty fun. So, pretty cool stuff. Obviously, issue number 53 and issue number 54, parts 1 and 2 of our Halfkin Warriors. Obviously, we get paint updates, we get the build guide, we get more information about the Ancestor Cores, and more. And also, information to do with Walkers of Battle Suits as well. Coming up. So, your Halfkin Warriors, you do have options with these guys as well. You can have them with helmets or without helmets. Entirely up to you. There are some weapon options as well with most of these guys. So there is some little bit of tweaks and stuff like that you can do with them. Yeah, they're pretty cool. So should be really, really good fun to build these guys, paint these guys, and have fun with these guys. Personally, I'm probably going to do helmets with all of mine because it just fits in easy, and the amount of painting in my backlog is getting ridiculous, so I may want to do these a lot faster than normal and just get them painted and done and out of the way. So I may just go with helmets to hide faces and not have to do faces. Anywho, it is what it is. Anyway, that is it from me. If you haven't, as mentioned in the last video, and you want to check it out, go by all means click on the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead video that is linked at the end of this video and the end card, because it will go a massive way to helping out the channel, and you'll get information about the next Warhammer magazine coming from Hatship Artworks, which is Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead magazine. And there's some pretty cool information in there as well. It may be worth checking out if you're into Age of Sigmar, so why not? Now, thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye now.